Hello friends! In this video you'll see how the actors of the TV series Charmed 1998-2006 changed. You'll know their real names and age. I will show you how they look then and what's with them now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go! Leo Wyatt was a white lighter and briefly served as an elder. He tries to fulfill his duties well and help, but sometimes he went beyond what was permitted for the sake of saving loved ones. Has a love relationship with Piper. He was played by Brian Krause. Piper Halliwell is the lover of Leo Wyatt and mother to their 3 children. She is always eager to help not only her family but also others in confronting dark forces. Piper is sensible but can be impulsive at times. She was played by Holly Mary Combs. Paige Matthews, Rose McGowan, was born from the union of Patty and Sam and is also Henry's wife. She has an unshakable nature and is also capable of being assertive, sometimes can attract trouble and behaves somewhat strangely. Cole Turner was a rather powerful half-demon who was able to get rid of a layer of evil essence thanks to his mutual love for Phoebe. He is strong in spirit, able to support and even sacrifice his own soul to save the person he loves, played by Julian McMahon. Daryl Morris serves in the same police station as Sheridan and is married to Sheila. He's a family man and always tries to do right things by his conscience, even if it may cost him his job. Daryl knows how to set clear priorities. He was played by Dorian Gregory. Chris Hallowell, Drew Fuller, is the second child born to Leo and Piper. He can show resilience and is not careless, especially when dealing with demons. Chris is also quick to change and is quite adept at witchcraft and the workings on the supernatural world. Inspector Andy Trudeau is familiar with the Hallowell family and has worked with Daryl Morris. He is characterized by attentiveness and is also able to compare data well, prefers a somewhat sloppy style of dress, had an affair with Prue, played by Ted King. Billie Jenkins is Christie's younger sister. She is quite quick-witted, distinguished by independence, but sometimes can also behave arrogantly, which sometimes harms her. Knows how to absorb information well and show diligence. She was played by Kaylee Cuoco. Dan Gordon lives next door to the Hallowell sisters and had a romantic interest in Piper. He's not used to completely believing any information and at first prefers to make sure of its veracity. Has a serious approach to relationships, played by Greg Wan. Penny Grimes Hallowell, Jennifer Rhodes, is a close relative of Piper. She has a strong nature, a good mind and a fearless nature, but still shows concern for loved ones. Penny is able to create spells and act ahead of time. She likes to wear solid jewelry. Inspector Sheridan works at the San Francisco police station where Daryl Morris also works. She rarely listens to the arguments of others, tends to be stubborn, and has a strong desire to find out the truth and punish those responsible, played by Genia Leno. Kyle Brody was listed as a security agent and also had a love affair with Paige. He's quite a brave and selfless man, but at the same time he can be callous in some situations, especially when confronted by demons. The role was performed by Kerr Smith. Patty Halliwell is an only child of Penny and was married to Victor Bennett. She is a shrewd person with an extensive knowledge of demonic entities and always defends her position. Patty likes to wear long earrings. The role is performed by Finola Hughes. Sheila Morris, Sandra Prosper, is the wife of Daryl and the mother of their 2 children. She knows how to keep secrets, genuinely cares about her loved ones, and is not accustomed to retreating quickly in the face of difficulties. Prefers to cut her hair short. Jason Dean was one of Phoebe's boyfriends and also her boss at the Bay Mirror newspaper. He knows how to run a business, knows how to make lucrative deals, and is quite capable of showing toughness, both in business and with his subordinates, played by Eric Dane. Christy Jenkins was Billy's sister and helped the Triad's plans in every possible way. She is not used to backing down from her plans, even if she may face death in doing so. Christy is a fairly strong witch who is skilled with fire, played by Marnette Patterson. Sandra was part of the Council of Elders. She is not so categorical in some things. She can provide the necessary information, give advice or help using her own magical power. Like the other elders, she wore a white and gold robe, played by Elizabeth Danahy. The Seer is an immortal demon who faithfully serves evil. She has a two-faced nature, carried danger within her, and often resorts to manipulation to achieve her dastardly ends. Capable of murder, but only when absolutely necessary. She was played by Debbie Morgan. Bob Cohen deals with social problems and also worked with Paige. He has a rather strict nature, is used to acting according to set rules, and knows how to appreciate his employees. Bob has no vegetation on his head. The role is performed by David Rivers. Zanku, Oded Fair, is a demon that inspires fear with its strength and weak susceptibility to the negative effects of both force and magic on it. He is quite self-confident, has a sharp mind, and is extremely cunning, able to appropriate the abilities of others. Fairy Thistle, Scout Taylor Compton, is part of the royal family in the magical worlds and had a good relationship with Kate. She is quite good-natured and never acts to harm others, has a cute appearance, wears a pink dress. Jack Sheridan is related to Jeff and was for a time the boyfriend of Phoebe Halliwell. He is quite good at unique antiques, knows how to sell them properly, and is aware of all the nuances of an auction. Sometimes he can act dishonestly, played by Lachlan Monroe. Gideon is one of the most influential guardians who also taught the magical arts. He is deeply loyal to the forces of good and his beliefs, but can also be too obsessed with them and even go as far as killing one of his own. He was played by Gilder Jackson. Coop, Victor Webster, is a messenger of love who helps people find their other half and overcome fear in love affairs. He knows how to be understanding and is not cruel, but he will never leave his loved ones in trouble. Has a loving relationship with Phoebe. Richard Montana had a serious relationship with Olivia and is also related to Steve. He's quite ambitious, can be difficult to convince, but is helpful and can admit his mistakes. Richard was endowed with magical powers, played by Balthazar Jetty. Leslie St. Clair, Nick Lachey, worked for a time at the Bay Mirror, filling in for Phoebe, for whom he subsequently developed a love interest. He is able to be caring, considerate and helpful, and supportive in times of need, wears an earring in his right ear. Avatar Beta, Patrice Fisher, like Gamma, had one goal: to create utopia. She is determined, can be persuasive, make a clear and correct case. Beta is capable of killing anyone who stands in her way. Avatars have endowed her with a wide range of abilities. Dex Lawson was married for some time to Phoebe, who was in the form of Julie. He is a good-looking guy who has a sense of beauty and can draw well. Dex can be quite impressionable, especially when confronted with the unusual, such as magic, played by Jason Lewis. Hannah Webster, Lee Ellen Baker, works with Rex and is extremely hostile to the Hallowell sisters, seeking to exterminate them. She has a zealous and rather vicious nature and can take the form of the wild panther, has red curly hair and wears neat glasses. Phoebe Halliwell is a close relative of Patty, who is endowed with a rather strong magical component. She can show seriousness of assertiveness and sacrifice her desires for the sake of people close to her. Prue is somewhat vindictive, played by Shannon Doherty. Phoebe Halliwell is one of the daughters of Victor Bennett. She can be quite fast, always trying to be on the lookout, and, if necessary, can use her fighting techniques. Likes to experiment and knows a lot of spells. Avatar Gamma, Ian Anthony Dale, strives to create a perfect world building with no room for discord. Aided and abetted by Beta and Alpha, he has leadership qualities and doesn't run away from responsibility. He has a neat mustache and a small, well-defined beard. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share it on social networks, like it, and of course subscribe to the channel.